All right, Broncos country, we're back at it. Broncos 4-2.
Four
We're
and
gonna break.
two.
Yeah, I know, dude. Isn't it awesome?
Doesn't feel like it, but we are 4-2.
Dude, you never apologize for a win
Absolutely.
whatsoever. Before we dive in to this Giants preview, and man, as this game approaches, dude, I'm becoming really excited for it. But yeah, how was it waking up early, watching this football game
Is that
in
what we're
London, man?
calling
What
it?
did you make of that game?
That was one of the worst football games I've ever watched in my entire life. And I just want to apologize to the entire country of the United Kingdom for the product that we gave you guys. That was awful. The first quarter was not bad. There was some exciting football being played. We get the ball and then fumble it immediately, which was awesome, and then fumbled it in field goal range, luckily. So then the Jets were able to score points. But then, that drive at the end of the quarter, Bo looked sharp. The offense was moving perfectly. We got another Nate Adkins tutty, and then after that, it was just like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good play design on that scoring drive, particularly that pass to Nate Atkins. I mean, it was beautiful, but then I don't know if it was the interior line or just kind of the feel for the game, but Sean Payton was like, man, I'm not going to risk this thing in the second half. If we can just score once, I think we'd take care of it. And yeah, it was a strange performance because I felt like this defense, you can't even fault them for any of those 11 points. And
no, it was basically like the ball was, well, two of the points they weren't even on the field for. And then literally the ball was just in field goal range the other three times, basically. Whether it was like bad kickoff coverage or, the fumble from Troy Franklin, which I'm still not convinced was even a catch in the first place. And then, that I think they had one drive where they got like inside the 40. It felt like the whole game was played between the 30s.
yes,
It was a weird football game. Like, it was just weird.
yeah, it was very strange. And I'm glad we got the win because if we lost to the New York Jets, this would not have been a fun week to make videos for. That's for sure.
Not at all.
But big takeaways: Matt Pert, bad. Matt hurt. He's out for the year. And Garrett
What
Bowles,
was the injury? I didn't even see what the injury was.
apparently he injured his knee. That's all we know on the third play of the game and then played through it. So maybe like
That explains the holdings then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And just why he was like getting bodied. But you saw Quinn Miners get bodied. Garrett Bowles was giving up some pressures. Pretty much like nobody on that offensive line had a good day. And I'm hoping we see the line really bounce back this week after being home. And Garrett Bowles talked today and said that Palczewski's going to be the guy. I don't know if he was supposed to leak that info, but he's going to be starting at left guard, which I'm very okay with.
Yeah, that was who I was expecting them to go with last week anyways. So I'm glad that they're making that move now because that was just bad. It was bad. Also, I don't know why it took me this last game to even realize it, but like our entire offensive line is white. Didn't realize it really until looking at it this last week. Really caught
like the opposite of CU's line.
Yeah, I was just like, I never really noticed that. But it was just like a weird observation.
White line, yeah, that is.
Yeah, I don't know, like just bizarre.
Yeah, actually, that is pretty weird. But I think we'll see a bounce back performance, hopefully, with Palczewski. I think I would have been a little bit more nervous if we put Throckmorton in there or maybe somebody like Alex Forsyth. But yeah, this New York Giants defense, they're not to be taken lightly. I think that they have a really good defensive line with Abdul Carter. Man, who else they got? Dexter
Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. Like they've got some dogs up front.
Burns has 7 sacks on the year.
Yeah, he's having a good season. But at the same time, we're playing. They're playing an offense that has a quarterback that just like doesn't really get sacked. An offensive line that doesn't really give pressures. So it's like I don't think that their pass rush is going to be much of an issue because no one's pass rush really is. If we can handle Philly's front seven, I'm not really concerned about any other front sevens, around the entire league. Maybe once we get to Kansas City and have to figure out what to do with Chris Jones, and just Steve Spagnuolo's insane all-out blitzes on like 3rd and 17 or whatever. But I'm not concerned too much about the Giants' defense, really, in this game.
Do you think?
That being said, like our offense obviously needs to get things figured out.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up right now and make sure I got the right context here. But on defense right now, the New York Giants, their rushing defense. Let's see where they're at right here.
They're bottom half of the league.
Yeah, bottom half of the league. They're giving up almost 130 yards per game.
How many we're averaging per game?
Are we averaging like
130? Like it's literally the exact averages for both defenses, or the defense and our offense.
Because, man, we got to lean into the run. We got to get that back. And, again, everything, this isn't rocket science, but so much of the NFL and really football in general, it's all predicated off the run, man. That's need to establish the run. I was kind of surprised to see that Tyler Bidet wasn't active against the Giants. I'm hoping that we activate him again, just because what we saw at Jaleel was, he added nothing to that offense. But hopefully this is a game to where RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, and those guys can get going. It was nice to see, Sean Payton, he's always criticized when he doesn't stick with the run. He stuck with the run almost to the detriment, you could argue, against the New York Jets. I think that if there's one counter, I think, with what we saw with the offense, is that I think we could have done a little bit better of a job moving the ball down the field had we spread things out. But maybe that wasn't the game that Sean Payton was feeling.
Yeah, going back and watching it over another time, it kind of just it felt like Sean just wanted to get out of there. Like he's like, I'm done with this. We've scored a touchdown. We're probably gonna win this football game. Let's just get out of here. Injury free. You just get out of here. Let's go home. So that's kind of what it felt like. So I do think that there'll be a chance in this game. And the thing too, going into this week, I'm looking at more of the rankings here. Like the Giants are 28th in total defense. They're 26th in passing defense. So our offense has a chance to do stuff against this defense. We've already talked about their run defense. They're bottom half of the league, 22nd in run defense, and I think Bo in the offense is going to look just fine against this Giants team, especially with 80 something Broncos alumni in the building. The Super Bowl 50 team is going to be there, and we're, getting Demaryius Thomas into the Ring of Fame this weekend. So I think all of those things combined, the crowd's going to be excited. It's their first game back in a while. So I everything is leaning towards we should be confident going into this football game. There's no reason we shouldn't be.
I agree, man. Yeah, I think this is a bounce back game for the offense. It has to be. I think we got to get our offense feeling good before the Cowboys game. That
we're gonna have to score points,
man. Yeah,
Cowboys offense is so potent this season.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to score points, which we're gonna be able to. The Cowboys have maybe the worst defense in the entire NFL. It's really bad.
It ain't good, man.
So it's up there with the Bengals, that bad of a defense. So if we can get our offense clicking in this game, which I think will be a good opportunity to do it, because the Giants they're not good, but they're not bad. You know what I mean?
I think they're a lot better with Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now, if you looked at the NFC in general, I would say that the Giants are on the upper half of the bad, the top of the bad teams. If that makes I don't know how to make that make sense, really.
I think they could be a fringe wild card team.
That's basically what I'm trying, what I'm saying, right? I don't know if they'll get there or not, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Yeah. Even without Malik Neighbors, man, they took down the Eagles after we beat them, man. That was surprising. I think, what was it, like 34-17 or something like
It
that? I don't
was
think the Eagles scored it all in the second
it
half.
was bad. I think pretty much every single Broncos fan that I follow on Twitter said the same thing. We broke the Eagles. Like that was like the common thread that I saw throughout the entirety of that day.
Now, being a Buckeye fan, how did you feel about Jonathan Cooper coming out this week? And I think that this is a little trash talk, and I don't mind it because we've been looking for dickheads on this team. We've been looking for confident guys on the defense that are trying to set the tone. And I think this defense is really starting to feel themselves. Again, number 2 in the NFL with points given up per game. It's like around 15.
Yeah,
Houston
we're the
Texans,
only team that's played 6 games that's given up fewer than 100 points.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, Houston Texans are at like 12.6 or something like that. Not after they face us later this year, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Was that like 3 weeks, I think?
Yeah, something
Cowboys
like
and
that.
then Texans?
But this, I mean, it seems like, hey, they don't like Jaxson Dart wearing the chain, feeling himself, all that with Cam Scatterboo, all these rookies. They want to give him his welcome to the NFL moment, man.
I
And,
100% agree with that.
yeah.
Also, Giants fans are a little bit insane. I don't know if you've been seeing the back and forth on Twitter. Like Nick Bonito has even mentioned
they haven't
it.
watched the Broncos game, man.
No, I don't think that they have. And I guess Jaxson Dart, the necklace he wears was his sister's. And I think like something I don't know the lore behind it.
I think he wore it back at Ole Miss too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And so like everybody's like, I can't believe that a veteran on the Broncos defense would say something about our quarterback's necklace. Like, why would Jonathan Cooper know the lore behind Jaxson Dart's necklace? Why would anybody outside of the New York Giants fan base know the lore behind the necklace that their rookie quarterback, who was not the week 1 starter, why would anyone know? I was really annoyed by that. I'm like, whatever. Like he scrambles more than any other quarterback in the league. And the other 2 closest quarterbacks that do as much as he does, like pressure to scramble rate, we sack them a combined 15 times.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm just throwing this out there. Also, still don't think Cam Scatterboo is a very good running back in the NFL. He had a good week last week. 1 week, it was just a flash in the pan. He's still averaging like 3.2 yards per carry and 6 concussions per game. Like, I'm not convinced that he's going to do anything against the Denver Broncos defense, especially if, Malcolm Roach offered a huge boost on the defense. And if if Dre Greenlaw comes back in this week, like, there's a psychopath that's going to be able to match like their psychopath, essentially.
Now, I got to admit, man, I've always been a Cam Scatterboo fan, but I'm not a fan of him this week. And our defense needs to bring it because, like you said, we have contained other mobile quarterbacks the last 2 weeks just fine. They have not been a factor at all with their legs, which honestly has been a little surprising because I'm like, man, if they get Alex Singleton's spine or whatever, they could take advantage of that.
It's always kind of been like our crypt, like a weakness for our defense.
Yeah.
Is run like mobile quarterbacks. They've always taken us to task like really every season. So for us to be able to go out there and do that against Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields in back-to-back weeks was like, okay, defense is taking a step. Yeah. And on top of that, the way that they were able to handle business against Saquon Barkley and Breece Hall like gives me some more comfort in the run game, because I would venture to say, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say both Saquon Barkley and Breece Hall are better running backs than Cam Scatterboo. Am I safe in saying that?
I think so.
Like, I'm just like, it's like our defense against their offense is not at all what I'm concerned about in this football game.
No. And I think when you look at their schedule too, I think this is the first time since Dart took over. No. So he's had one road start, and that was a loss against the Saints a couple weeks ago where they had like 5 turnovers. So they've gotten both of their wins. They're 2-4 right now at home. Like you pointed out, Super Bowl 50 team's going to be there. They're honoring Demaryius Thomas. And again, we have a fantastic home field advantage. We got an amazing crowd. The altitude helps. And we always just play, better at home like all these other teams do. So it's going to be tough for them to come in, especially with their quarterback being a rookie. It's important for us to rattle him early. And I'm just hoping that we can get off to a quick start in and get a lead in the first half to really put them on their heels, put the game on Jaxson Dart's shoulders to come back and win. Because if I feel like if we get in that sort of situation, we should be able to finally force some turnovers, man. That's the one thing we're still waiting on from this defense. I thought we had it in that fourth quarter with that Surtain when he forced that fumble, but
that was definitely a fumble.
I thought it was too.
If that was a fumble, Troy Franklin's was not.
Exactly.
Like if that was an incomplete pass,
yes,
Troy Franklin's fumble at the beginning of the game should have also been an incomplete pass. That was one of the most inconsistent refereeing calls I've ever seen.
Yes. So that's what I'm hoping for. Again, New Orleans isn't a good team, but they have a very great home field advantage there, and seem to rattle them. We'll see how they do in Denver. What's up?
I'm just laughing too because Jaxson can't really look to his backup quarterback, his seasoned veteran backup quarterback, to be like, "Hey, how should I handle this crowd?" He's like, "Don't look at me. Those people hate me." So that part kind of makes me laugh. And then also Jameis Winston is just like, last time I played this team, I threw 2 pick sixes. I don't know what to tell you. So he doesn't really have pick sixes. Yeah, he doesn't really have guys that he can lean on to help him figure out how to navigate this Broncos defense and this crowd. So yeah, it really is throwing the rookies to the fire, and I mean, if we look at it our cornerback matchups, I mean, Pat Surtain or Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, they'll probably want to try and match up Lil Jordan Humphrey on Riley Moss for the height advantage there.
Yeah. But at the same time, not at all concerned about that.
No.
He wasn't even on the game day roster until last week for the Giants.
Yeah.
So it's I'm just not their offense doesn't do anything. It doesn't move me at all.
No. And okay, do you think that we're going to see some Dre Greenlaw this week? I'm thinking that we do.
I think there's a chance. I think he'll be on a pitch count.
Yes.
I think he's been limited at both practices this week, but that could literally just mean that he didn't practice every rep essentially. They can really stretch the word limited at practice to make it mean whatever they want it to mean. So I do think that he's going to go. I would assume maybe 40% of the defensive snaps, maybe less.
That'd be great because again, we're going to need him hopefully against the Cowboys. Man, he would be a huge help against that offense, and it's rumored that CeeDee Lamb might be back this week, so that's something else to monitor. We might have their offense. And by the way, dude, Javonte Williams having a career year right now, huh?
Yeah, a little nervous about his revenge game. He's that's the first revenge game that I've ever really been nervous about. Javonte has looked really good this season.
Now he's over 2 years removed from that knee injury.
Yeah, he's looking more and more like himself. I just don't think that we had the patience really, and it worked out for both parties involved. Yeah. Javonte's having a great year. We got J.K. Dobbins, who is also having a great year. Yeah. So it worked out for both teams.
I think they signed for around the same contract, dude. So it's not.
And I think they'll both get extended too. So,
dude, I would love to extend J.K. Dobbins.
I think that we should. I think we should go ahead and do it.
Randomly, what do you think about any of? I know it's probably not likely, but what have you thought about all these different trade rumors or trade ideas for guys to be brought in here to Denver for? Is there anyone that you're particularly fond of the Broncos going after?
No. I mean, unless it's a guard, a plus starting guard.
Yeah. It's hard for me to see. I'm
not really moved by anything.
Trading a starting offensive lineman, Maybe Betonio from the Browns, but
that's really the only one that I have in my brain.
Trade.
It'd be a dumb move on their part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really nothing. There's so much smoke on socials about PS2 commenting on Jalen Waddle's thing and sharing it to his story. I'm like, guys, they were teammates in college. Relax.
Yeah.
That's why he's gassing his dude up because they were teammates in college. Yeah. Just pump the brakes a little bit. What would we need to bring Jalen Waddle in for? How would we do it? I mean, I would be cool.
Yeah.
It does nothing. really, for the offense.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, dude.
I mean, the two guys that are getting all the targets is Cortland Sutton and Evan Ingram.
Man, I think you get a guy like that or Chris Olave, that these guys don't just get open, dude. They get open all the time, dude. I think they're a game changer for this offense.
I mean, I can agree with that, but also at the same time, like, I think keep your draft capital, because I really have seen it from Troy. I really have seen Troy take those steps this season, and so I don't know. I just think right now, I think it would be silly for us to like not keep the draft capital and just kind of roll with what we've got offensively, unless we're able to like get a plus guard out of the deal.
Plus guard would be great. And dude, I know they won't do it, but DeMario Davis and Dre Greenlaw.
Oh, dude, that would be sweet. That would be sweet. Honestly, like, I'm good to roll with Justin Strnad and Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah, dude, man, there would be no hole on the defense
whatsoever. None. It would be the perfect defense, which is crazy.
Yeah, building the perfect defense.
Yeah, literally just look at the 2025 Broncos defense. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Which, again, why I'm not concerned about this Giants game whatsoever.
Now, I will say, dude, I think the Giants, with this young core, dude, one thing's clear. They're not intimidated. They're not afraid of anybody that they play. And I do think that they make this a game for a while, man. I don't know. Right now on Profit X, shout out to Profit X. Use promo code Dave for your $200 profit cash bonus. But as you can see, dude, right now the lines in Vegas, they have the Broncos at -7.5. To be honest, I was a little surprised after just our lackluster performance from the London game on offense. But I'll show you here right now, man, what I did. I don't know necessarily if the Broncos will cover this. I hope that they do. If they play a consistent four quarters, I think they absolutely do it. But my plays of the week, dude, right here, Broncos -7. I got +100 odds on that. So I had to throw a little bit of profit cash on that. Then I also got USC upsetting Notre Dame. Notre Dame has not played well against ranked opponents, dude. So that's just another side tangent there. But I do feel good about the Broncos getting this win. Maybe not necessarily in a blowout fashion, but I feel like this should be a victory that we feel good about, in which we get to the quarterback. And honestly, dude, we earn like a dominant win. I'm not saying we blow them out, but we're definitely the better team throughout this game. That's how I feel about it. As long as the special teams doesn't crap the bed, dude. Special teams. What did you make of that, man? What have you made of special teams so far? Particularly with the coverage.
Yeah, it's been like, honestly, really lackluster. Like, I kind of have held my breath on kickoffs for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I don't remember doing that at all last year. I know the rules are different.
I didn't either. And, it wasn't, I don't know. I feel like there's stuff they could play around with a little bit more. And, I mean, I feel like the guys on the kickoff team just need to like be more lane, like assignment, like just really stick to like where they need to be.
Yeah.
Like it just like looks like there's always at least like one or two guys out of place on kickoff. And, and at the same time too, like something weird about punt. I've noticed like Marvin Mims has like called a couple fair catches where it's like, why'd you do that? There wasn't a guy within like 10 yards of you.
Yeah.
So and like that fake punt last week was like, we knew it was coming and they needed like a third of a yard. It was like nothing.
I figure they barely got it. It kind of looked like
literally just like barely got there. So I mean, if it was like 4th and 1, that probably doesn't convert. But because it was like 4th and like 7 inches, then I mean, obviously that's why they were able to convert that. So like I'm not too concerned about that piece, but special teams, yeah. I mean, you go back to the leveraging call, you go back to like the big return this last week. It's just been weird things here and there. Like it's going to lose a game at some point. again, when we play a team that's like as good or better than the Broncos, we're going to lose a game if the special team stays the way that it is right now.
Yeah. And versus an inferior opponent, I think the biggest thing that was so frustrating against the Jets was that we gave a team hope, especially going into halftime, man. And if we're lackluster on special teams and if we turn the ball over in the first half, if we give the New York Giants reasons to go into that locker room and feel like they have a chance, dude, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Of course, I'm feeling confident that we get it done, but it would be really nice to see them come out and put together a complete game after such a poor performance against the Jets, man. Like, that fumble by Troy Franklin, I know it was like 50-50 or whatever, but it's like in the penalties as well, we just need to clean these things up before we start going up against really good teams here in like a week and a half. Like, I know the Dallas Cowboys are flawed, but they're a great preparation for getting ready also for the Texans, the Chiefs, some of these other tough teams that we face.
The Chiefs are starting to look like the Chiefs that we're accustomed to. Like, they look right now, they look better than the Chiefs from last season.
Yeah.
So, it's just like Perna's curse wheel chose the Giants. Let's go. Why were the Giants on his curse wheel? I need to watch that. I got to watch the video. I got to get caught up on.
I know. I got to watch it too.
Perna's video. I hadn't seen that. But yeah, I actually talked about that in my video. One of my videos this week was like I think the only thing keeping the Broncos from being a legitimate contender right now is the offensive penalties.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not clean. Like, it's an illegal shift. It's not enough men on the line of scrimmage. It's covering up a tight end. It's holding penalties. I mean, we want to talk about how the offense wasn't able to move the ball. Like, both threw 3 first downs that all got called back, and one of them got called back and was turned into a safety. Like the offense was moving the ball fine. The only reason that it stopped moving the football was because of holding penalties. And then you get yourself into, 3rd and long positions. Nobody converts on 3rd and long except Baker Mayfield, because he's probably going to win MVP this year.
And dude, especially with our line having the hole that they did in the interior with Wattenberg last week. Hopefully that's alleviated a little bit with Palcho. But yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. You can't get in 3rd and longs and consistently feel like you're always going to move the ball.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the one thing. Like, I think our offense is good enough for us to be a contender because of how good our defense is. Like, I would say like our defense is comparable on pace, like in like just like defensive statistics with that Super Bowl 50 defense. And the offense is, I think, much better than the offense was that season. Like,
I think right now, statistically, points per game, I think it's around the same.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like, we could probably be averaging 4 to 7 more points a game if we would just not take all these whole like penalties on offense.
And I'll tell you what, I kind of hate this new kickoff rule with the touchbacks. I almost feel like the 35 is kind of ridiculous, but I understand why they made it ridiculous, right? But in an end of game scenarios, I absolutely hate this.
It's like two first downs and you're in field goal range.
I almost wish like in under 2 minutes they would just make the touchback the 30-yard line or whatever. But yeah, anyways, I understand it. But I think you were almost, with how our defense is playing, this is a wonderful point by George. Kick off to the end zone, dude. Just kick a touchback and let the defense stop them from the 35. I think if they get out to a hot start, right, or even, I don't know, now, I'd rather trust this defense starting on the 35 than trusting our special teams to stop a kickoff return.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos were averaging defense 15.8 points a game. Our defense has given up the fewest touchdowns this season. Incredible. We've given up 6 touchdowns through 6 games. We also have the number 1 third down off defense. We have the number 1 red zone defense. Like, at some point, like you just need to have a conversation with your special teams and just say, Will, just kick a field goal every time. Like, don't even worry about them returning it. Like, so they get to the 35. Big deal if they're returning it to the 30 already, anyways. So when you have the number one red zone and third down defense, like, just trust your guys. Like, trust that they're going to go out there and take care of business, because they haven't really let us down at all this year. I mean,
yeah,
all 11 points last week were really not because of the defense.
No,
defense
played perfectly, man. And you're right, man. Like, if this offense can just start to average, 4 or 5 more points per game, I mean, it's going to be hard to beat this team.
Yeah, like 24, 25 points a game. That's like AFC Championship territory.
Yeah, because I think in 2015, I don't know what our defense gave up, but I think our offense was right around 20, 21 points a game on average. And right now we're averaging around 21 points a game. It has not been pretty, but if we can just get that, I think last year we averaged around 25 points. I think it was around 25 points a game. If we can just get back up to around that, we're gonna win these games.
That's not the right year.
Not 2016.
I'm looking at 30. Like, I'm seeing 30 points per game. Yeah, Payton. That's not the right. That's 2014.
2014, we were still averaging 30 points a game.
Yeah, Payton threw for like 4,700 yards that year.
That was like a bad offensive year, I felt like.
We
like,
averaged
what's wrong with the offense?
22 points, 22.2 points per game. And defense, we were giving up 14.1 points per game.
Dude, that's insane.
And right now, we are giving up 15.8 points per game. And we are scoring, I think, 20.8. Let
me see here.
I think. Team stats, 21.7. So we're almost right there with that team.
Like neck and neck, dude. Kind of the
the
special teams that year was fantastic.
Yeah.
And you won pretty much every one-score game.
And they were clean on offense.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, outside of the turnovers from the quarterback. We'll forgive him. He had problems.
Couldn't feel his hands, all right.
He was old. He had some issues.
Yeah.
So I think going into this week, there's not a lot that we need to be too worried about. I think that the Broncos know what they need to do, and I know that I'm confident that they're going to go out and take care of business. Being back in front of the home crowd, back in their home beds this week. We have to remember, like, they were away from home for a very long time.
Yes.
They left on like Thursday night last week or 2 weeks ago to go to Philadelphia. Maybe Friday night. I don't know what the travel looks like.
Still, they've been gone.
And then they were gone all like the whole next week, time zones away. And now they're coming back, and then they're back in their own beds this week, with their own families, eating home cooked meals. So I think that there is something to that, and I do think that this team's going to come out and they're going to be clicking, they're going to be firing on all cylinders.
I hope so, man. I mean, I forget what we predicted, like, in terms of the home games when we went through the schedule, but I really do feel like we should be able to win every home game in this year. That's really my hope. And again, you just take care of business half the time on the road, you're going to be in really, really great position for playoff seeding, the division, all those things. So do you have like a player on offense and a player on defense, that you think is a guy to watch or a guy that you'd like to see perform really well against the Giants?
Yeah, I'd like to see RJ Harvey have a game. He's going to be looking across the field at another rookie running back who has played better than him all season long. Has had more opportunity, obviously.
Yes.
But has looked better than he has this year. And so I want to see RJ Harvey kind of have that breakout game. I thought it was going to be last week. It didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So I would look for that to happen this week. And then on defense, man, I like can't take my eyes off of Huff when he's on the field.
Dude, let's go. Yeah.
Dude, he's just like, he's everywhere. He had a sack last week. He had a tackle for loss. like a great tackle for loss.
Yeah.
Like he was just flying around. Like he really does give this defense like a new edge to it and kind of some freedom, for the guys up front to kind of be able to do whatever they want. So yeah, defensively, I would probably say I'm probably gonna like I always do. I'm just gonna be watching Hufanga. Zach Allen has really been popping off the screen for me this season too. But offensively, like I'm ready to see RJ like have a game.
I love that. I would love to see RJ really break out. We're gonna need him, man, in the second half of this season because we can't just give the entire load to JK. That's just not a smart idea, given his past health issues. But on offense, another young player that I'd like to see bounce back, Troy Franklin, man. He had such a huge catch for us against Philly. Obviously, took that momentum and fumbled it away on the first drive. Let's see him
3 plays in.
Yeah. Let's see him get back, feeling himself, having some success. It would be awesome to see him score a touchdown this week. And then on defense, Giants fans seem to have no sweat with Andrew Thomas going up against Nick Bonito. Man, I'm looking forward to Nick Bonito. I want to see 2 sacks on
3.5.
baby. Yes. How about that? Continue to increase that lead over Brian Burns and 19 sacks. That was my prediction this year. He's right on pace for that, if not to break TJ Watt's record right now.
I think he's on pace for 22.5.
Incredible. So we need him to keep that up and increase that margin. These Giants fans got to know Nick Bonito is the best pass rusher in all of football, baby. So, yeah, man. But yeah, George coming in here saying we need to not make 3 penalties. You're absolutely right. Getting 2 turnovers would be fantastic. And this is the week to do it, going up against a rookie quarterback, man.
Yeah.
This is definitely the week. So, Strez, any other thoughts or you got a score prediction for us?
Yeah. I was thinking about this yesterday and thinking about it some more today. I think that this is going to be a really good game for Denver Broncos fans to sit back and enjoy. For some reason, my heart rate was way too high the entirety of the game against the Jets, which I didn't think it was going to be that, but I do think that it's going to be pretty relaxed this week. I think I'm going to take the Broncos to win this one. Give me 27-13.
Ooh, okay.
Big win. I think the Broncos are going to go out and do it, though.
All right. I will have a nice little bump on the offense this week compared to last week. So give me the Broncos 24. Give me the Giants 16.
I like it.
So we cover, baby. We cover, we make that money. That's what I'm thinking. So Strez, man, I love chatting it up with you every Thursday. Thanks for joining, man. And let the people know, man, where to find you and what you got going on this week on your channels.
Yeah, come check us out over at Washed Up Sports Network. Had a really fun episode of our show that we call Hear Me Out. This week, had a chance to sit down with 2 of our guys at Washed Up Sports Network. The TCU great Trayvon Boykin is a member of our Washed Up Sports Network, and the 13-year NFL veteran, 3-time All-Pro Justin Bethel is also a part of the Washed Up Sports Network, and had a chance to sit down and talk with the both of them and talk about things like LeBron James Hennessy ad and stuff like that. So it's kind of a fun episode, and then we've also got a Waterboys College Football Show. We've got stuff coming out all the time for that. Have a video coming out kind of reacting to that Texas game because Aaron, one of our hosts, is a massive OU fan. Did not have a good Saturday. So we've got a video out right now talked about how Texas won the game, but it wasn't because of Arch Manning. So go check that one out. We've also got, talking about James Franklin. We got a video coming out tomorrow about James Franklin and another one talking about whether or not it's time to respect Indiana and Kurt Signetti, which, spoiler alert, still don't. And I think Indiana just wasted a big old bag on him, but it's fine with me.
It's all right, man. Nebraska's going to lose Matt Rule, baby.
I don't think he's leaving. But
dude, that's his alma mater.
There's I think he loves his role. I think he loves what he's got going at Nebraska right now. But there is always a number for everybody.
I think so, dude. I think he's full of crap saying, and he has not just flat out said, "I'm not interested in Penn State, man." Now I have some bias. Look behind my shoulder, but
There's a little bit there. Yeah.
But we're talking about his alma mater, man. You
Yeah.
do not pass that up. You do not pass it up.
Now, some other names that I'm looking at is Matt Campbell out of Iowa State. I think he would be great for that job. And Alex Golish from the USF. I think he would be awesome. He would be a huge get for them in that team with what he's been able to do down at USF. And then there's another guy. For some reason, I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. He's an offensive coordinator with the Falcons right now. I think he's a Penn State alum. There's some guys that I'm looking at. But, yeah, so we've got those videos coming out on the Waterboys College Football Show. And then also Saturday morning, every Saturday morning, we go live from 8 to 10 a.m., kind of do a little bit of a pregame lead up to the day of college football. So come check it out.
Awesome, man. Well, everybody, George, Big Gooby Sand, Quentin Caldwell, thank you guys so much for joining the chat. Please be sure to subscribe to Broncos Hub in the description of my video. Like and comment on the replay. We'll be back to discuss hopefully another Broncos victory, getting to 5-2. Until then, go Broncos. Want to give a quick shout out to the flagship sponsor of David Talks Buffs and David Talks Broncos YouTube channel, and that is Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market. This is peer-to-peer sports prediction where players play against each other, like you and me, instead of a sports book versus the house. You almost always get the best odds on any play that you're looking to make. They operate in over 40 states, including Texas, where I reside. So use the promo code Dave and claim up to $200 in profit cash for all plays in the first 30 days of playing on the site. Terms and conditions apply. Go ahead, click the link in the description, sign up using my promo code Dave on Profit X, and join me on America's #1 sports prediction market.